Hello everyone, John from Wild Learning here again, and today I'm going to talk to you about hapazomi, which is the ancient Japanese art of leaf printing, or as my cameraman described it, hitting stuff with mallets. Now this is a craft activity to make something that could look like this, or probably nicer, but this is one we made very much earlier, about 10 minutes ago, and it will appeal to children who like making things that look lovely, who are crafty, who like working with flowers, and who like whacking things with hammers. So there's quite a broad range of personality types that will be attracted by this. And what you will need are some flowers. We were using dandelions and some camellia flowers. You can also use any sort of fresh picked leaves. So this is a good time of year for that. Some cotton material. This is from a sheet, I think possibly a pillowcase. It's a bit crumply because it's been in my rucksack for a while, but it's easier for reasons that will become apparent if it's nice and smooth. And you're going to need a mallet. Now, the most likely type of mallet you'll have is this, which is a traditional English carpenter's mallet. It's slightly more difficult to use because it's got a completely square face, so it's quite hard to get it to hit the surface cleanly. So if you've got one with a slightly rounded face like this is a rubber tent peg mallet, that's easy to use. Or best of all, unlikely you'll have one of these, this is actually a lead worker's mallet, but because you can see that's got a very smooth curved face, it's very easy to work with. But whatever you've got, you can even use a rolling pin, and you'll need a hard striking surface. Now we're going to use a birch log, as you can see, because we're outdoors, but you could, if you're doing it indoors, you could just use a wooden board, a wooden chopping board, that's fine, but just bear in mind it does make quite a lot of noise. The last thing to say is you've got to be very mindful if you are working with what is essentially a whacking great hammer, and children, that you do not end up hitting something that ought not to be hit, such as fingers or heads. And it is very tempting, as you will see, to have your hand in the striking area, and it can be quite tempting for siblings to put their heads in the striking area because they're very interested in what's going on. So that's one thing to look out for, and needless to say, this is a supervised activity, mums and dads. So what we're going to do is we're going to pan round to my assistant Zach, who's already got his cloth, if you can see, laid out here flat on this birch log. He's only using half of the cloth, and we've got some camellia flowers, clematis flower, aqualegia leaf, and a dandelion. And he's placed those roughly where he wants the colour to be. It's worth mentioning that the more obvious the colour, the better the print you'll get. If you use a very pale flower, I suspect we're not going to get a very good result from that, but that's part of the fun, is not knowing what's going to happen. Then you fold over the cloth until it's just halfway, so you made a sort of sandwich. This is where it is tempting to have your hand down there to steady it. Don't do that, because it's a shortcut to pain, basically. Tell me, after 10 years of doing this, that's usually a precursor to saying a word that you wouldn't want your children to hear. So now then, what we do is we're just going to bash the material, and this is live for us, so we've got no idea what's going to happen. Gradually you should see the pigment from the flower or the leaf, there's the dandelion, coming through. Stop a minute, Zach, I can just straighten that for you. Now there's nothing to stop you, if you want to help your kids a bit, from having a go yourself. That's a good excuse, actually. I'll just help you, darling, you can say. Because sometimes it takes a little bit of extra oomph to get the dye out. And then, Zach, if you could finish off for me. And then when you're done, you can put your mallet down safely, peel apart the two sides of cloth, and you can see what you get. And now it's up to you whether you peel off the leaves to leave the design or leave them on there as a sort of echo. As I suspected, The green of the Aquilegia has come through much more strongly, and the very pale pink of the Clematis hasn't really worked at all against the white, and the dark pink of the Camellia has worked best of all. So there you are, we've got this and we've got this. That's Hapazomi.